Put him down. Put him down. I'm not looking up.
3, 2,
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another Agony of Positivity podcast. I am Ross. I am also very tired. I am joined by
Saul, who has not gotten access to the intro, so I don't know when the sound's being played because Ross forgot to do it.
Yeah. Here.
It's all right, buddy.
We'll fix
It's
that
all right, buddy.
live. No, we're fixing it. There we go. As I said, I'm very tired.
I understand.
It was a long day yesterday. Went to the Kings Island Amusement Park.
Yep.
Or Paramount Park or Cedar Fair. I don't know what they call it anymore, honestly. It's the Cincinnati area thing. Was there for most of the day, got sunburn on my head because I thought the sun was weak and I was stronger. And it turns out that's incorrect.
The big ball of flame is not weak. It is powerful.
Yes. Who would have thought? But yeah, I had like a pretty good time there. Mowed the yard when I got home, which was a race against rain and dark.
Yeah, I should have did that yesterday, but we didn't.
Well, I only did the front yard because it's got like a hill, so it dries pretty good. The backyard does not dry so good. But nobody sees the backyard except us, so it can wait. I also have do you guys ever get like the wild onions that grow?
Yes.
We have a big patch of them, and I hate mowing it because then everything smells like onions.
Survivor Man says that is awesome to have in the wild.
Well, that's great, but in my backyard, considering I also don't really care for wild onions.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that if there's an apocalypse event, that I won't be around to worry about, oh man, I shouldn't have got rid of my wild onions.
Just saying. Survivor Man says that's a great find.
Yes, well, I'll remember that as I hide from the bands of cannibals scouring the cityscape.
Sure.
Oh man, I did notice, before we get into the real part of the show, I feel like the late 90s, early 2000s era style has made a vicious, unnecessary comeback. Because,
it's all style. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What makes you say that?
Well, I'm going to use the amusement park as my kind of my guide to what's going on in style and trends. Because you have, such a diverse amount of people.
Okay.
And I saw a lot of people in basically what everyone in my high school wore around 98.
Yeah.
And then I saw a very disturbing trend that men's shorts are now mid-thigh. And
That's kind of 80s or 70s, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I mean, that's going back even further. But
yeah.
I'm a down to your knees shorts kind of guy.
Okay.
Now, if you're running or something, if you're actively not walking around somewhere and just wearing them, but if you're a runner, I understand you want your shorts above your knees. Life's better. But when you're just walking around the amusement park, I don't feel like mid-thigh shorts look right on men. Maybe I'm just uptight.
So
I just don't care for the style.
I went to the same park you went to yesterday.
Yeah.
Different time. I don't know what part that you were in. Maybe I wasn't observing people. I don't know because I was I did not see that.
I couldn't.
Which I'm glad. I'm glad.
Well, I think the weirder so I have really weird things that it's no, that's unacceptable versus that's acceptable.
Yeah.
So there was one dude I saw that was a power lifter, and he had the shorts on, or bodybuilder, I don't know, but he had leg definition. But most of the guys had stick legs, and it's I don't know what you're doing.
if the guys are built like Wardlow, you're okay with.
Well, if you want to like wear like shorter shorts and you've done the work to work out,
Yeah.
you, like that's fine. Now, if it was
Yeah.
super hot, like we were like what 62 to
Around
60,
there. Yeah.
like with wind, so it was cool out. Like
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I it's I don't know. Maybe I'm just like an old man who's like men should wear pants, which isn't the case. I'm a big fan of shorts, but it's like
Yeah.
a weird, and I think it's because like when I have tried wearing something like that, it's just
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Understand?
But yeah, like just fashions and like the young people have gotten younger because there are more people I consider young now. And man, they are obnoxious.
Yeah, you're
Like,
getting old.
Yep. Well, I mean, this would have annoyed me even when I was younger, but like standing in line and there's like a group of 4 boys, they're
Yeah.
just screaming like
Yeah.
nonstop. And it's like, man, I wish you guys would tire yourselves out. But I think that's more for toddlers that you tire them out.
Yeah, that's what I told my wife yesterday. We was trying to get on this train ride.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's not a ride. It's just basically, well,
It's the
anyway.
train. Yeah.
It's a train. But anyway, there's probably like 4 or 5 annoying kids like "Arr!" just screaming. And I told my wife, I was like, wherever they're going, we're going the opposite way up.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's because like I don't care if like the kids yell occasionally or like, "Hey Tim, we're over here," but when you're just like, yeah, some of the things they said I will not repeat because it was like I don't know if I'd yell that in public. Even when I was like younger, I don't think I would yell that in public. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, I'm sure they were having a good time. So
you know what? Since I brought up the train, I'm going to say one thing that aggravates me about that thing. And a lot of people that are listening to us probably are like, what? But, I'm still going to complain anyway. I hate riding that thing, and the employees feel it's their need to make corny jokes as you're riding. I just want to ride in peace.
that's not what they're paid to do.
No. I do not want to hear their corny jokes. just let me ride the train in peace.
I'm sure that there is some bizarre person who's like, all right, you got to converse with the patrons because we need more engagement time.
Yes.
And then people like stare at each other and roll their eyes and are like, more engagement time? Like, yeah, every second that you're engaged with the patron, it makes them feel happier at the park. We've done studies.
Well, my wife said it makes sense that the train, as you're riding it, they use it because they built the train first, and they have put rides all around the train.
Yeah.
So as you're going past these rides, they're like, hey, let's just talk about what rides you're driving by. No, I don't want that. Or just keep it short. Be like, hey, here's the vortex. Hey, here's I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
Vortex,
my
I
old man.
think, is long gone. But
Well, whatever.
yeah. Yeah, but that part's not for you. That's like we live fairly close to an amusement park for travel standards. So
Yeah.
it's for the people who drove from like some like horrible place like Michigan,
Yeah.
drove down to escape Detroit.
Some horrible place like this. Yes. Did you go into the one shop where the reason I said vortex is because there's a shop in there because it's the 50th anniversary or whatever.
Yeah.
They're selling all the old T-shirts. So
I didn't
the
see that.
Vortex T-shirt is in there. The Screaming Demon T-shirt's in there. Yeah, like all the old rides
wow.
are no longer there. Yeah, they're selling all of them. So.
Well, part of me wishes you wouldn't have told me that because we were on the way out and looking at like the 50th anniversary stuff, but we were in the one that was like the real generic stuff. Where it was just like said 50 anniversary, like up by the front of the park.
Yeah, that's where I was. That's where the T-shirts were.
Oh, those must have been sold out because we didn't see anything that was like the old rides.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like basically like the Eiffel Tower thing. Like that's Kings Island's big monument, I guess, is like a faux Eiffel Tower. That I thought was scale size when I was a child, but turns out the real one is much bigger.
Yeah, it was funny. My wife and me went to, I don't know where we were. It was a long time ago, but somebody said she's like, I don't need to see the real Eiffel Tower. She goes like, no, I don't need to go to France or Paris because I seen the Eiffel Tower in Kings Island. Like, the real one's bigger than that, right?
But I mean, depending on how far away you are, it's the exact same premise. Like, it's a big tall building.
Yeah, I forget because I looked it up once. The real one is incredibly much larger than the fake one.
I'm searching as we go.
You're searching it up.
Yes. Gotcha. Whether it will.
I looked it up one time, and there's a website, I guess, because other people have asked this question.
Yeah, the 1/3. So 1/3 scale replica.
Gotcha.
Is what it says.
1/3 scaled replica.
Yeah. So that means 314 feet, so it's like 900 feet.
My wife is whispering in my ear. She said the one in Las Vegas is bigger than the Kings Island one.
Yes, but ours is special in its own way.
Yes.
But yeah, so amusement park fun. I don't even know. I did that. It's really hard to eat at Kings Island, depending on, like, because I cut out, like, carbs pretty heavy.
Yeah.
My one option to eat is Hank's Mexican Grill, where I get a meatball with cheese, basically, and no rice.
Well, it's funny that the real world now, outside of Kings Island, because I was looking at the prices.
Yeah, it's getting...
It's the same, because I told my wife, I was like, I went to Wendy's sometime this week, and it's got a Dave Single Classic.
Yeah.
I think it's number 1. $11.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think nothing special. It was just, I think they made my drink large.
Yeah, which is whatever.
$11.
Because I remember getting, like, the Baconator. Like,
yep.
Because I'll get, like, a double or triple if I get a burger. And it'd be, like, that much, but it's like, okay, well, I got, like, the super big sandwich. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
so it is sad that the world we live in now is amusement park prices.
Well, because, like, the Kings Island, so just for an idea, like, the Chick-fil-A sandwiches within Kings Island are, like, $16 and $17 a sandwich. It is,
really?
Yeah, it's the most insane thing ever. Because, like, I've looked at the price, I've been like, are you kidding? Like, because I could handle, like, maybe double the price.
Uh-huh.
A little bit, but I don't know. I don't like the amusement park pay to win system is no fun.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do you want to move on? We have a few things we could talk about today.
Yeah.
We have some wrestling stuff. There's still wrestling to come tonight because eventually between the wrestling companies, you're going to be able to watch wrestling every hour of every day if you so choose.
Sure.
We could talk a little bit about video game stuff. I've actually played some games this week.
Yeah.
We could talk about
the
food.
We can talk about the Warner Discovery merger.
Yeah.
They're going to reboot the entire series again of DC stuff.
Oh,
they
man.
said.
Wait, hold on. Okay, we're going to do that then. Here we go.
Something that could never, ever possibly destroy us. Mr. Stay Puft.
You chose poorly. You have chosen wisely.
Okay, so the only thing I really heard about, like, the Warner Discovery thing was, like, some people were, and it was wrestling side, was like, oh, that might be good or bad for AEW, or it might not matter at all.
Yeah.
Like, they're, like, because that whole thing, but, like, due to, like, their ratings and their cost, like, they're probably won't see a problem. But this is more disturbing. They're going to reboot DC.
From what I read yesterday, I think they were in talks about doing it. Because I guess the entire franchise, which I can understand why, has not really I guess has never went to the Disney level of money making type thing, because they've done such a poor job of.
They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah,
like the only guy that's interesting with interesting villains is Batman.
Well, and it's disturbing that because the thing I read was the only profitable movies that they've really made.
Yeah,
is the Joker, which I thought was terrible.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of doing a Joker origin.
The Batman, which I've not seen yet, so I can't really say one way or the other on that.
Yeah,
and Shazam, which Shazam was all right, but I don't know.
Well, my brother, he's a huge Batman fan, way bigger than I am even, and he liked the new Batman.
Okay.
Because there was, they kind of tried to make it realistic, is what he said.
Oh God.
Well, as in like he's not like. It sounds like it would exist in the world of reality, like how he would actually go about like doing it. But I thought they did that with like the what's his face, the Batman Begins
Nolan
trilogy. Yeah, Nolan. So because
I don't want my Batman based in reality because it's a guy dressed like a bat.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
let's be honest.
It depends on the story you give me, but
yeah,
like how many times have they tried Superman? And it never works, or at least like it never lands for me. Like when I'm defending Superman against what they do in the movies, because it's like, well, that's not good. Then you've messed up.
It still baffles me how you mess up Superman. He's such an easy character to do.
You would think it's because they don't want to lean into what he is, which is like a good guy.
But no, it's what we said so many times before. They focus on Clark. I don't care about Clark. I want to see Superman.
But they need the human element. It's like why they kept putting stupid humans in the Transformers movie.
I guess.
Like, I just want to see Optimus Prime do cool stuff. I don't need... Like, the thing I hated the most in the cartoon was when the kid and the dad would be around.
Yeah.
Like, the only humans I want are the ones that are in peril, that are being rescued. I don't need to know that Tim was going to his office job and then Megatron destroyed the thing and now he's, like, desperately racing against time to get to his wife and child down in the daycare because she volunteers there. And the building is going to collapse, and they don't know for some reason. And that's like half the movie.
Yeah.
I hope they don't steal that, because that seems like the exact kind of thing that they would work into a movie for no reason.
So I jumped off the movies. Where have they rebooted that yet, or what?
What, the Superman?
No, the Transformers movies. Have they rebooted those? Or are they still going down the path of?
They're still
whatever?
following the same path. I don't know if they're gonna do more or less or what. Like, I'm sure there's news, but like, I'm a pretty big Transformers fan.
Yeah.
Like, I watch the movies, but like, if they put out another one, I'm not making my way to the theater to see it. Like, I'll watch it on HBO Max or wait for it to be on a digital platform.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of okay, but they're just bad.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, you can look at them as like an action movie, but it's like there's more that you could do, and they just do dumb stuff.
The last one I saw was that terrible. What does Megatron become? Ultratron?
Galvatron.
Galvatron, and whatever thing they did for Galvatron, I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah, they.
So
They
that's the last
literally-
movie I saw.
I would hope that before they're done with whatever they're doing, they just remake scene for scene the cartoon movie.
Sure.
And at least to be like, hey, look, we did this thing for you guys. We know this will be good because it's a scene for scene recreation.
Yeah.
Even the bad scenes.
Yeah.
But if
whatever cartoon they did with The Rock in it, because Rock had a cameo in it for like one episode. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
No.
It was Netflix. I think Netflix redid it, and I thought it was like 4 seasons or 5 seasons.
Was that the War for Cybertron?
Maybe.
Because there's one where they did like a trilogy that I haven't got to finish yet, but it was actually good.
Yeah.
Like, again, there's like, that's a franchise that seems to do better in animated form.
Sure.
Or computer, you know what I mean? Like, non-live action.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you try to do like, so going back to the DC reboot.
Yeah.
What if they were to go back to the 80s or early 90s and just do Superman, like set them in that era?
Yeah. So you think Superman should be the first one?
Do Superman, but let's try a 1990s era Superman.
Okay.
So him working at the Daily Planet actually makes sense.
Yes.
Because newspapers are a thing.
Yeah.
Him being a reporter makes sense. That way you can have Clark in the movie. He can have a job and he's got to like break away. The world is a little bit simpler.
Sure.
And give him an interesting villain to fight. No Lex Luthor. Have Superman exist. We don't need his origin.
Yeah. Oh no, we need to see him racing through the cornfields for the school bus or whatever he's going to do.
If you want to we do an intro montage.
Yeah.
That covers that while the credits roll. Get that out of the way. Everybody
that would be a good way to do it. Yeah.
Hit all the great things. Pa Kent is not dead. Yeah. We're erasing that decision that he's got to die like he's Uncle Ben or something. And
I don't. Smallville started that. I don't know why they didn't. You know, we need to kill Paul Kent
because that Duke boy was too expensive. They needed to save that budget the entire show for Doomsday.
Oh God.
Yeah. But yeah. So Superman's established. He knows his power. We're not creating new powers for him at a whim. And let Lobo show up.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. He'd be a good first character.
It would bring some character out of Superman.
Yes.
Also, whatever director is directing Superman needs to be like, you don't have to just be like a stick in the mud. Like you can actually like smile and like have fun.
Yeah, the one character that should not be like Batman is Superman. So let's have fun with him.
Like basically, what you guys are going to do is you're not going to watch anything live action, and you're not reading cartoons, or you're not reading comics. What you're going to do is you're going to watch these cartoon movies, and then you're going to watch the Batman and Superman superhero cafe things, and read those, and that's what you're basing Superman on.
It's a terrible Superman. I don't enjoy him, but they said Christopher Reeve's Superman is probably the best, most close to how Superman should be to the comics, I guess.
I never liked the Christopher Reeve Superman. Again, from a young age, I was not a Superman guy. However, as I've gotten older, I have to agree with that.
Yeah,
because apparently. Nobody knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like,
Lobo would be a good first guy because he could be just chaotic and just be Lobo.
Well, he's a match.
Yeah.
You can give him like a real specific purpose to be there.
Yeah.
So that he's not just like going crazy and like wrecking super havoc.
Sure. Since he's a bounty hunter, he can actually there'd be a reason for him being there. Yeah.
Yeah, like he can have a reason. There can be like a bigger threat where they got to team up, and then you have that, like, you know that Superman and Lobo are going to fight again. Oh, that's the other thing. Don't kill him off.
Yes.
It'd be a pretty good idea is to not kill Lobo. But yeah, I mean, it's probably the easiest bad guy to write. I mean, Lex Luthor is easy to write, but everybody knows about him.
Sure.
Like, nobody cares. You want the bald guy who's trying to, like, create kryptonite? Hooray. We've seen it a million times. Give me the big dude who looks like he's going to a Kiss concert, who shows up on a galactic space bike.
Yes.
With one of the weapons from the God of War guy.
Well,
that's funny.
One of the animated movies did where Wonder Woman kind of teamed up with Lobo a little bit.
Yeah.
Or they was fighting. It was comical because a buddy cop film with Lobo and Superman or Wonder Woman or whatever would be hysterical.
Yeah, well, because eventually you get them on the same side.
Yes.
Like, because they fight, but then, like, whatever Lobo's there to get is, like, a big deal. Pick a random galactic villain that's defeatable.
Yeah.
Hey, that Steppenwolf guy? There you go.
Sure.
That ties in eventually getting to Darkseid. Or, like, you know, like one of his herald dudes or acolytes or whatever they call them. Yeah, that'd be way better. I'm more excited for the thing that we just, like, half made.
Yes.
Than probably whatever they're going to do.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, the Flash movie that they were talking about seemed interesting, with Michael Keaton as Batman.
Yeah, where so that got pushed back again, right?
I have no idea. That's too good of an idea. Let's get rid of it.
Well, I think currently scheduled, June 23rd of 2023.
Okay.
It was originally slated to premiere November of 2022, then brought forward, and then it was delayed again. So I don't know.
That's probably not going to happen now.
I mean, it's done, I would assume. So I don't know.
It might be like Top Gun, because apparently Top Gun's been done for like 2 years now, and they keep on like pushing it back, and
I wonder. Because what you're saying with like the merger, it could be one of those things where they do just be like, "This is not what we want."
Sure.
Which Flash runs into a similar issue, because if you have Flash at like full power, his power level's just totally insane.
Well, and he only has one interesting bad guy. Everybody else is
Gorilla Grodd.
Yes, that's the one I'm talking about.
Yes.
No, what's his name? Was his name Zoom? Is that his bad
Reverse
guy?
Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it better when he's called Reverse Flash, because you would think that would mean that he would be like super slow.
Yes.
But it's really just the suit's backwards.
Yes.
Like, how horrible is that?
Yes.
Oh, man. Yeah, so I don't know. Like, it's probably for the better if they reboot it. But, I mean, we might not be alive to see the end of it at this rate.
Yeah.
Like, like, it's weird because it's like they have to see, like, Marvel laid out a blueprint.
Yeah.
Is it a pride issue? Like, oh, we can do it different. Well, yeah, you can do it different. That doesn't going to mean it's better.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't really like the way Marvel did it, but yeah, it was a plan. It was a beginning and there was an end. You know. So.
Yeah, well, and it made sense. Like, establish some people. Infinity War is the big payoff. Then we're going to make a bunch of movies that nobody cares about because it's over.
Yes. We're going to make a bunch of movies with superheroes that no one cares about at all because all the other actors are wanting too much money to come back. Yep.
Yeah, because it was actually successful the way we did it.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, they basically, I don't know if there's like a good all the B team heroes team up thing.
It seems like they're trying to. It sounds like, from what it seems like, they're trying to play off Doctor Strange as being the next guy leading the charge, which I could care less about Doctor Strange.
I I need to see the Multiverse of Madness or whatever it is that he's doing, because I like him as a character, but he's like super strong.
Sure.
Like, I mean, maybe they can do Galactus, but like real Galactus.
You want cloud form?
No,
Yes.
no. Unless the clouds combine or solidify into real Galactus, I don't care about Galactus. Like,
Yeah.
Ultimate Universe Galactus that's robots or locusts or no, that's just stupid.
I want a I want an 800-foot tall man walking around.
Yeah, at least with
Yes.
a big hat. The hat is bigger than the Eiffel Tower. That's
Yes.
the true key. Now, if you want to have like the zombies pop out and eat them, like the Marvel Zombies thing, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they went down that route.
I know they did like the What If, but it seems like they could have got like a full movie trilogy out of that if they wanted. But maybe it's like too expensive to get like the actual people.
Sure.
Because if you start jumping to different universes where it's like, oh, well, this Tony Stark actually looks like Chris Pratt because we can afford him for, you know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was interesting to discuss.
Yes. Didn't think you get that much out of that, did you?
There is going to be a day long after we're gone where they're going to be like, how did DC just keep messing up?
Sure.
And they're going to find archives of old podcasts, ours included, and be like, well, all these people had way better ideas than what they did. Be like, there's literally thousands of people talking about this, that every idea they had is better than what they did.
Sure.
So, do you want to talk any video game stuff or hop to wrestling?
I mean, we could talk. I don't have a lot to talk about in video games, other than very little about expansion stuff.
Let's do just a second or two. Here we go.
Get over here! Time's up. Let's do this.
All right.
Let's do this.
So I'll start with the small news. It is the game that is sweeping the nation, the Vampire Survivor game.
Yes.
So $3 on Steam. I think it's $3.18 with Ohio tax. So that's your commitment. I just checked. I thought I played it way more, but I've played 8 hours of it. It is that roguelike style game where you can basically you try to live as long as you can to get through the level or beat it. You power up your dude as you go. Very similar like a Diablo style, but more extreme because like by the longest you can play a level is 30 minutes. So you can start out, they have all kinds of different characters you can unlock. You're just trying to survive the waves until the end. And then once you get done, you unlock like different weapons for additional run-throughs. With the gold you earn throughout the level, you can buy power-ups that are permanent. So you can always start out stronger or things like that. Super basic graphics. It's probably like Super Nintendo era. So like 16-bit graphics. But like it's just a super simple gameplay. Like you don't have to aim anything really. Like you just use your WASD to move around and your enter key and up and down arrows. Like that's really all you need. So you can theoretically like eat or drink while playing it. But yeah, like people are streaming it. There's all kinds of stuff. Like I read up a little bit on their game planning. Like it's still early access. They said the more stuff they add, it'll probably get a little bit more expensive. But I have enjoyed it. I almost came home on a lunch break one day to play it because I was like, I really want to play another level of that. I haven't unlocked hardly anything. Now I'm also avoiding researching on like Reddit and finding like, you know, your super optimal build that makes everything easy. Like, I've come across some where it was like, I am the most powerful person in the universe, and then the next round I'll die in like 2 minutes. So,
what's this thing called again? Maybe I'll type it in.
Yeah, Vampire Survivors.
Vampire Survivors.
But yeah, there's like all kinds of different characters. Like, the more you play it, the more you realize like you'll have like weapons early on where you're like, this is the most powerful weapon in the whole game. It's broken. And then later on you're like, well, maybe it's not. Like, there's one of the weapons, it's garlic. It gives like a circle around you.
Yeah.
And early on in the game, it's very powerful and very useful. But you get to a certain point where that is not as good.
Mm-hmm.
But again, early on, you're just trying to survive and get gold to like unlock stuff. So until you like, once you have and I have like a minimal understanding of the game, it feels like at this point, like as to how to upgrade your weapons and how to like do all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's for I've played it 8 hours. I fully intend to play probably another 8 at least. I would get the feeling. For $3, it's hard to go wrong.
Yeah.
So now for you, because I don't know that you're into that style game, but this might be one of those ones where you're like, you know what, this is actually pretty good.
I'm watching the video of it. I don't know. I need more than what I'm watching here.
Yeah.
Because it looks very chaotic.
Yeah, go. You can check out. So I saw Asmongold playing it, is who I saw. Because I've seen this game a few times.
Yeah.
And I wasn't into it. But because he is actually good at explaining what he's doing.
Sure.
Like, he provides better commentary. Which that will probably make some people very sad that I would say that, but
he's the Jim Cornette of video games.
I don't know that that's wrong at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, so watching his playthrough is the one where I actually kind of understood, because he had one of like the later characters, and I was like, oh, I see what you're doing. I was like, oh, that looks kind of fun. So,
Yeah.
But he's got like 3 or 4 videos now of him playing it, arguing with his chat, which is a lot of the time. But
Yes.
yeah, it's I mean, you get 2 hours, so you could refund the $3.
Sure. I mean, and you get to keep it. It's $3.
Right. But I mean, your investment for discovery for this game is very low right now. So,
Gotcha.
because I was like, I thought it was like a $20 game at some point. I don't know if I was looking at a different game or there's another game that looks like this that I thought was this.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first time I saw it, I was like, well, no, I'm not going to pay that because I don't know if I'll like that. But then when it was like, oh, $3, well, yeah, I'll play this. So
There you
go. And then I guess the bigger news would be the Hearthstone expansion is out.
Yeah.
So I almost spent real money, but I didn't. Which I think is what happened the last time as well. For the last expansion, is I almost spent money and then I didn't. But I did buy. So I had like 12,000 gold at the start of the expansion.
Okay.
So I bought the Battlegrounds pass because that is important, and then I spent all my gold, and then got all the gold that you can get in the packs you earn and all that stuff. So I'm somewhere in the neighborhood of like 120 packs right now, and I've only opened 4 legendaries. So pretty unhappy about that. That's not the worst you could do, but that's not. I'm definitely on the sad. Like, if there's a happy face and a sad face, I'm pretty sure that's the sad face side of the scale. So I had to dust all kinds of like golden cards to build a deck. I built a Curse Warlock deck.
Okay.
Which is probably not going to be a good deck, but I will play it because I like the deck.
Gotcha.
Basically, it's you like they had like the old cards, like they're in Wild now, where it like puts a curse in your opponent's hand, where if they don't play it, it deals damage to them. It's that, but every time you do it, it ramps up, kind of like the Jade Idol or like the Jade thing. Each one does more.
Yeah.
So like the play style, like the mechanic to it is really good, or at least I find that super enjoyable. I don't know if it's a competitive deck, because like the rush decks are just crushing it at the moment.
Sure. Because, like you said, they want to. They want people having fun.
Yeah.
And they want the game to end at turn 4. So.
Yes. Which is, I guess there's a priest deck that is doing that.
Yeah, it's very memey. You're talking about the one where it has no minions except for
the switchy reversey thing.
Some switchy yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I haven't ran into that deck yet, and I used to really like playing priest, but they became very different. Yeah, the switcheroo priest, where
the guy I was watching on YouTube said, he's like, it's a very fun deck. He's like, it's very memey, but it's very easy to neutralize it too.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Okay, I see. So they do switcheroo. The minions they're running, Stone Tusk Boar, and Darkness, which is the 2020. So you switch there, so you get a 1 2020 charge.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, whatever you got to do to. Oh, this is awful.
But Paladin has that. I think it's a secret, maybe.
Yeah.
Where if you attack him, it makes you 1/1 again. And
yeah, I mean, there's
once that happens, it's pretty much, game over.
Yeah, but there's like. Were the decks that don't have that?
Sure.
It's funny because they said long ago, I think they were asking like what the most problematic card in Hearthstone was.
Yeah.
And they named, like, people thought all kinds of different things like Leroy or Shadow Step or things like that. And they're like, Stone Tusk Boar is the biggest problem in this game. And this is another example of Stone Tusk Boar is the biggest problem in the game.
Sure.
So, yeah, because all I've played, this is obviously the wild version. I'm sure there's like a standard version where they do something equally dumb. The Mech Mage.
Yep.
I've played it, and it's fine, but it's just I'm going to simplify it. It's to play a bunch of minions and then hit them in the face. And I don't know. I prefer slower games. Just like where you can have like a more elaborate strategy to try to pull off.
Well, where you can get a feel for each deck. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't mind losing, but let me just understand how your deck works. Not to like, oh, hey, it's turn 4, game over.
Yeah, be like, well, I've done literally nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't want... Remember when it was like the weird warrior control where in the Q block and every game went to fatigue?
Yes.
I don't want that.
No.
But if I could reliably hit turn 9, that'd be great.
Sure. What is going on here in Rift? They have robots now. Why does Rift have robots?
Like Rift, the awesome MMO that got all messed up because they failed.
Yeah, they're showing robots now. What's that?
I mean, they always had like mechs and robots. They had at one point a mount that you could get.
Yeah.
And it was like a mech suit kind of deal.
So
I don't know. Yeah, they're still kind of chugging along, I guess. Let's see.
Yeah.
But yeah, some other company bought Tryon, I thought. And then...
Okay.
So, because I played it for a while. They switched to free to play. And initially it wasn't too bad. But it did not take long to where it was like, oh, we really need to make some money. And you kind of feel it.
Well, I was because I remember playing it with you and doing the subscription form.
Yep.
And then I stopped playing it, and then when someone said, "Yeah, they're going to free to play," I was like, "Yeah, that's the death nail." That's going to be from what it sounded like you said, it kind of was.
I felt like it took a while, but yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely, because I mean, you change the way you monetize at that point, because I mean, I'll still argue like Rift at launch, once they got like a couple patches in,
Yeah.
I still think that was the more engaging gameplay, just because I have a mage, but I have like instead of 3 specs, you had potentially, depending on balance, more of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could kind of tell, because at one point, like, each class had its own dev, and then eventually, like, they pared that down, where multiple classes were managed by the same dev. Like, you could just kind of see what was happening.
Well, the Warcraft went the brave route of making you pay a subscription and a cash shop. So
Yes. Which is mind-boggling in a way.
Yeah.
To be fair, I guess, with WoW, is it's so, how do I want to put this? It's so old that if every time they make like a mount or something and then they just leave it in the shop, it seems like there's a ton of stuff, but it took years and years to populate.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say is at least you can buy gold and buy like a token.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, theoretically, you can absolutely buy gold in that game, which means you can do a lot of other stuff.
Sure.
I almost had the desire to play WoW this last week.
Yeah.
And I was like, but I want to play Classic and just tough it out, or would I just want to play retail and kind of like go to like old worlds and do stuff? But
I'm waiting on classic
Lich King?
Right. Lich King, because that's when I really truly enjoyed the game.
Are you going to, because I mean, we have to assume they're going to do that. Now, are you going to start a brand new character, or do you want to have a character leveled up, though, so you can actually jump into Lich King content when it happens?
I remember leveling in Lich King and not being too bad, because my one buddy wanted to play with me, and it didn't take too long to level a character up. Because I think
did they make it easier to go like the 0 to 60?
Yeah. Well, actually, I think they're doing that now in Burning Crusade. They've switched it up to where so they switched it up to end of expansion leveling, and I think that's what they're going to do for Lich King in the expansion leveling, far as like they speed up everything. So because obviously you want to get up to Northrend because that's where the content is.
Yeah. Well, that's when because isn't Lich King when they introduced the marks for dungeon runs to where you could?
Yes, I think so.
It was like, yeah, you can get a drop, or if you are unlucky, hey, you can buy this gear.
Lich King, yeah. I mean, in my opinion, Lich King's when World of Warcraft peaked.
Yeah, I'll probably have to play that because I missed it first time around. But when Rift launched, that's how they did it. Like, you could run the dungeons and get the marks or get the drops. And it'd be like, oh, well, hope that your drop isn't the pants because the bot pants are the best for your class. Like that, you run into that situation. But it was still, you can just mindlessly run the dungeons and get the marks, and you're guaranteed to get gear at a certain point.
Yep.
Which
I just wish
my carrot on a stick is like that.
I wish they would do World of Warcraft Lich King with current graphics and this like updated version of Lich King. That's what I want.
Maybe they will, because they do like that Season of Mastery stuff. So they might realize, okay, be like, all right, well, we satisfied the people with the normal classic. Now we're going to kind of start messing around with stuff and try to find something good.
Why wouldn't you?
Are you excited? Because next week they're going to reveal the expansion.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know, but I guess the new one was all right at first, but it got boring quickly.
Yes.
I don't know why it got boring. It just got boring to me.
I mean, I made it further into this expansion technically than I have the previous. Although I have zero desire to come back at the end and do all the catch-up stuff.
Yes.
So on one end, it was more successful. On the other, it was less successful so far.
Sure, sure. People seem like they got burned out really quickly on this one.
I know, like, a lot of the systems, because they've done this multiple times now, was like, hey, this system's going to be broken because people are going to do this, and it should be this way instead. And they're like, no. And then later on, they're like, oh, yeah, we're going to fix this stuff to make it like this for quality of life of everybody. Like, well, you guys could have done that in the beginning, but you just wanted to punish the player base.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like they're just building bad will at every turn.
Because who owns them now? Didn't someone buy them?
There is work for Microsoft to buy them.
Microsoft.
But I think that's still a ways out because it's got to go through all kinds of legal stuff before it happens. But
sure.
Yeah, hopefully they're like...
At this rate, I wouldn't be surprised if Elon Musk buys it.
That's fine. Was he a WoW fan? Does he hate WoW?
Well, you heard about...
yeah, he's trying to buy Twitter.
Twitter, yeah. So,
like $54 a share. I don't even know what Twitter's price would be, but...
That's what I'm saying. Wouldn't be surprised if Elon Musk like, you know what? I'm going to buy me some WoW.
I mean, maybe he could. That would be weird, like, to have that much money and be able to, like... Could you imagine sitting with me and having the discussion where I'm telling you I'm thinking about buying Twitter? Like...
Sure.
Like, I assume, like, that's not a conversation you have with, like, normal people, right? Because, like, I can't wrap my brain around that.
Well, it's funny because when you have people like Trump, for example, who wants, like, I'll just make my own media.
Yeah.
And then, then you have Elon Musk. It's like, I'm just going to buy that media. You know what I'm saying? So it just shows you rich versus comic book. Yeah, rich. So it's just funny.
I mean, honestly, if he were to buy Twitter and just get rid of it somehow, maybe that wouldn't be the worst thing for the world.
What if he bought it and you can only see his posts and he just like disables everybody?
It just became like the Elon Musk messaging system.
It'd be great. That'd be so awesome.
He'll be everywhere at the same time.
Yes,
that's what we need. Let's see. Do you want to move on to wrestling, or because I mean, did you do anything other than Hearthstone?
Yeah, we can go to wrestling. I have nothing else.
Okay. All right.
Just write down the times.
Yeah. No, I got it this time. Yeah, we got it.
Oh, maybe we go right into it.
This is a revolution.
Cody will not be denied. He will have his.
He's probably gonna like. I keep thinking about doing a new bumper, if nothing else for the wrestling, because people say hilarious stuff in wrestling all the time, but I'm just such a fan of that one with the Aaron Stevens or Sandow wearing the nude trunks, and them just being like acknowledging it, and yeah, it's just so good. It's hard for me to get rid of that one. But yeah, no, like you were saying, yeah, we went right into it. But yeah, we've hit like a lot of stuff today. So going back, I don't know of anything that happened on WWE that felt super big deal, other than I guess the Usos are going to try to unify the tag belts.
Yeah.
So, I mean, whatever they end up doing or whenever, I'm sure that match will be good. RK Bro and Usos should be fine.
I thought it was going to be at the pay-per-view.
Oh, the WrestleMania Backlash? WrestleMania
what?
Backlash. It's called WrestleMania Backlash now.
Why?
Because the WrestleMania name is a bigger name.
Sure. But WrestleMania is different with now.
Well, and then after WrestleMania Backlash, get ready for WrestleMania SummerSlam.
Are you serious? Is that what they're doing now?
I'm not. I'm saying that jokingly.
Yeah.
But would you honestly be able to tell if I didn't tell you that? Like if I just dead set was like, no, everything's going to be WrestleMania, whatever, because it's all a subchapter of WrestleMania, building up to WrestleMania. Like
How
you would
dumb
believe
is
that
Yeah, well, how dumb is that? Why would you do that?
because it's WrestleMania, brother. That's a big name.
And why is NXT? I don't know. There's just so much going on. Why do you have two main roster guys in NXT for their?
Uh, I
So,
I can't even pretend to watch NXT currently. Like other than like Braun Breaker's pretty good.
well,
I
what's
have
his
no
face
idea
here?
what they're doing. Ziggler.
Ziggler, who looks pretty cool in his beard.
It is a better look.
No, Mandy Rose. She doesn't even look like Mandy Rose anymore. Wow, I have not watched.
Yeah, it's a different world over there for sure.
Okay, all right. Well, there you
So,
go.
but yeah, so there was that. Cody fought the Miz. People were angry about it, but it was funny. Like, because I did catch a little bit of that. Cody kept saying all the banned words, like wrestler.
Yeah, I did read that.
So
yeah.
that was good. So his gimmick is basically going to be like super corporate, but still anti WWE in a weird way. Maybe that could be funny.
Yeah, if you go with the anti WWE gimmick, maybe because yeah,
I mean, for him specifically, and do
Yeah.
it kind of like in a humorous way, where it's like poking fun, not like Austin McMahon or anything. But
well, I did like how Vince McMahon said sometime last week that no one else can. There's no one else in WWE that can use their real name,
yeah,
and they just hired Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Now, granted, Cody's Rhodes is not his real name, but
yeah. Well, they'll in 6 months they'll change it. So they'll get their real name, but
what did you think before we get really
Yeah.
into what did you think about Jim Cornette actually giving praise to the Young Bucks in their
So
match?
I swear he has never watched a Young Bucks match because he was acting like he was like, oh my god, they know how to do a headlock.
Yeah.
Like, now I know better. I know he doesn't think that they just do like super kicks and like flippy stuff all the time running around. Like, he's smarter than that. But
Yeah.
it's like, yes, there are matches they have that are just out there. Like, even I'll watch some of them and like, it was good, but it's not really what I like. But I've also seen them have like the more technical reality-based matches.
Yeah.
I mean, wrestlers themselves are like, man, they can do pretty much anything.
Sure.
Like, they can wrestle the Lucha Brothers, and it makes sense with the crazy Lucha rules that the Lucha Brothers constantly fall into. Like, they can play to the stuff correctly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm sure that was like the most painful day of his existence. Or he sent them a message and was like, hey guys, watch this. This week, I'm going to tell them I like you. And it's going to blow everyone's mind. And then they had a good laugh. Like, I think that's absolutely possible too.
Sure.
But yeah, like, it was weird. Like, I did like where he said that he could watch it as a fan because he really didn't know. And he was actually wanting, like,
Yes.
he got like the true fan experience. And because I felt like they got me a couple times.
Yeah.
And he seemed the same way. So I was like, oh, all right. But yeah, I was shocked. Like, I expected him to be angry about something with it. I was like, well, FTR won, so I don't know how he could be mad.
I like that his way of complimenting them. He's like, I'm actually going to call them by their real name.
And then listed every other name he uses just to still get it in. Yep. Got to get your stuff in.
And then he followed it up. He's like, when I say real name, I'm not talking about the real name because he's like Nick and Matt. It's not their real name either. But he's like, I'll just. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I was genuinely surprised that he spoke well of it.
Yep.
Because I expected that to be another one of those ones where it's like, I'm going to listen to a little bit of this just to see, and then I'll probably turn it off because I'll so disagree that I can't even see his vantage point.
Yeah.
Because that happens a lot. Like, he did not care for the Yuta Moxley.
Yeah, he does not like Moxley at all.
Yeah. So, like, that one I was like, well, I enjoyed what they pulled off with it based on Dynamite this week. Or Rampage this week. Like, they do, like, the three-way. Like, the crowd's super into Yuta.
Sure.
So they have.
I agree with Cornette. They need to change his trunks.
He did have
Okay.
black and white trunks. It still has like the weird side logo, but it is like just black and white and gray.
Gotcha.
So it's not like the super colorful.
Gotcha.
So that might be step one, and then he'll go to something different. Let's see. Did you catch Rampage?
No,
I'm sorry, not Rampage. Dynamite.
I watched Dynamite. I didn't watch Rampage.
Did this feel like a totally I don't want to use thrown together, but like haphazard? Because there was stuff I really liked on it, and there was stuff that it was like, I mean, it could be worse, but
yeah, it definitely seems like he was just like, well, I'm going to do a Vince McMahon here and just change stuff, and
yeah, I mean, it was. I still liked it. It was better than my other options for wrestling for the week. Pretty much. Like the Penta and the Punk match, I was curious to see because I didn't know how it would work, but it was fine. I saw someone had posted this, and I didn't think about it until after the match. But like with Lucha Libre, like where Penta taunts all the time, I guess they're saying like that's. Like think about like the AAA stuff you've watched. Like playing to the crowd is even bigger there than here, but you got to have the person you're fighting kind of play along with it. So Punk actually leaned into it and kind of played along more than he probably would against somebody else.
Yeah,
and it did help it.
Yeah.
So because they were saying like, oh, Punk's actually really good at adjusting to the style, and I mean, that does seem what he did. Like, he was like, oh, I'm going to try to make this work instead of it looking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, like, I was worried that he got hurt for a second, like on that weird top rope spot.
Yeah, he played that really well.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things he's good at is, like, he knows he can't just pretend that nothing happened or they look totally stupid. So that way, it at least makes sense, and I'm sure, like, probably was telling the ref, like, tell him to start working my leg because we got to do something to cover that.
Yeah. The Eddie Kingston Jericho thing, it's sad that I don't care about it. I don't know. I just.
Well, I mean, we all know there's going to be backup at some point. Someone's coming in to help them, so you're kind of just waiting until that happens.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who that could be.
I did like the runway segment, though, where they beat up and stole his shoes.
Yeah.
And then later on, he ran out with no, like, he just travels with one pair of shoes, I guess.
Yes.
Which, I'm going to be honest with you. If I was in the wrestling business, I would probably have 2 suitcases. Like, I would split my gear between 2 suitcases or, like, a carry-on, and, like, I'd have backup.
Sure.
Or if I was being paid what I assume AEW pays, like even the lower end guys, I would have bought a new pair of shoes.
Sure. Did you watch the Eddie Kingston RJ thing?
Yes, I did. That was fantastic.
They should really do a I don't know what I'm looking for those two. Some kind of show with those two because their chemistry was awesome.
Yeah, well, Eddie Kingston is phenomenal with stuff. RJ City in small doses I find very funny. Because he was on an episode or 2 of the New Day podcast, and he's a funny guy, but he is a very an eclectic sense of humor, let's say.
Sure.
And it doesn't land all the time.
He kind of reminds me a little bit of Dalton Castle.
Yeah.
Because Dalton Castle can be like that too sometimes, I think.
Yeah, but yeah, like, so a little is a lot kind of thing. So his little 6-minute things, but yeah, I just enjoy when they do like the official stuff and you see a little bit of difference in the people, or it gives them a chance to like do a little bit more character stuff. Which is like BTE. Like, I think one day they're going to let Stu Grayson do more. Like, he's getting a lot better from Evil Uno's vlog where he does like a gym review. Yeah. Like, I feel like he's getting a little bit better at showing some personality.
Sure.
Because, I mean, in-ring, like, It's not like he needs anything. Like, he's fine. Like, his
Yeah.
look is good. It's just he's not interesting in a lot of regards. Let's see what else.
They really should just let him, just, I don't know, do something.
They're going to have to do something sooner or later.
It's a shame that what happened to Brody Lee, because I think him and Brody Lee would have been a great, like Randy Orton, RK Bro type chemistry type going, because Brody Lee would
Silver,
Silver and Brody Lee was great at like fighting with each other. So.
Yeah, I mean that would have been and because he had like the tights made for Silver that matched his,
Yes.
because that like he was going to come out in those without Brody knowing about it, probably.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, or it was just going to be ridiculous because it made him look so much shorter too.
Yeah.
So, trying to think what else happened on Dynamite, because I want to try to touch Rampage a little bit, but we're getting long. Lucha Boy and Jungle Saurus, that's their new name now to me. Lucha Boy and Jungle Saurus. They retained over Red Dragon in a pretty good match. I 100% thought Red Dragon was going to win that match.
Terrible booking. Red Dragon should have won.
Yeah, so I don't know who's winning the belts, unless they're going to have FTR take the belts off them, which is fine.
Yeah, but I mean, who are you going to turn heel, because everyone's behind FTR? So,
you have an out. Christian is the one who's going to turn heel.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Somewhere between now and then, him and Jungle Boy are going to have an altercation of some kind or a disagreement.
He's going to cost them the belt.
Yep. You keep FTR as the good guy.
Yeah.
Jungle Saurus and Lucha Saurus are gonna lose the belts, but they'll still be good guys. Jungle Boy has a feud with Christian. There you go.
And Luchasaurus goes where Marcus Stunt went. And just disappears.
Maybe he becomes whatever his real name is, and he's Christian's heavy. He agrees with Christian. And then he gets a black glove, and he just jackknifes people because he's tall.
Yep.
There you go.
Problem
solved. There's some other stuff like the Swerve and Hobbs and Starks and Keith Lee match was pretty good. On one hand, I hate seeing Keith Lee get beat.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I really like Hobbs and Starks, so I just don't know, like, how I feel on that one.
It was a tag match.
Yeah.
So
Taz interfered.
Yeah. So.
I mean, it's definitely good for Hobbs, and honestly, like, Hobbs is the guy I have the most desire to see do good.
Yeah.
Out of everyone, and also Ricky Starks was in his hometown, which
I just wish they'd make the FTW belt mean something. I mean, it's
mean more.
It's just, I don't know. It's like, hey, look what I got. Because Britt Baker, did you see her belt that she made?
No.
Yeah. So I guess she's gonna reveal it maybe on Dynamite. I don't know. Maybe tonight. But on Instagram, she was showing her DMD belt that she has.
Hold on, I gotta find a.
Yeah, go to Instagram. She just sneak peeked it.
Oh, I don't have her own. Oh my goodness! All right, we might get some audio here. So it's a TNT title, but it just says DMD. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So you're gonna have all these people with different belts.
I mean, speaking of belt, I mean, we got Samoa Joe and Minoru Suzuki chopped each other over 104 times, apparently.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
As a match, it wasn't the best match, but as being entertained by two dudes just beating each other, it was fine. I'm pretty sure Joe winning that belt was the correct decision. Yeah,
it is. So I watched Bam Bam Bigelow and Andre the Giant, and that match is more entertaining than the Samoa Joe match. So yeah.
I enjoyed it pretty good. just because it was like the crowd made it. If it wasn't for the crowd, it would have been the worst thing ever.
Dudes smacking each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they were laying into each other. There was the Marina Shafir and Sky Blue. Many have said was one of the worst segments they've ever watched in their life.
Yeah.
That was just, it was rough. I mean, it did look like Marina was just literally for real beating up Sky Blue. So in that regards, it did look like a fight because it wasn't smooth. But
Yeah. Sky Blue, I think she's more known for her gear. The way she wears her gear than I don't know. It just seems like she's just boring as a character.
I don't know. I haven't seen stuff from her in other federations.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'll see sometimes where it's like, she's pretty good, and then other times she seems, like, hesitant.
Yeah.
But, I mean, she's also in there with someone who has very little experience, like, pro wrestling.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they definitely were like, well, here you go, sink or swim, guys. And,
Well,
I mean, that's something. Like, you can kind of tell that Marina, she could be good, I would think. But it's
I hope she can wrestle because she's going against the TBS champ and Jade. I mean, Jade's all right. I mean, she's a good talker, but
Yeah.
she's still green as far as wrestling goes.
Yeah.
And
I mean, she has gotten significantly better.
Sure.
But yeah, we'll find out.
it might just be a huge train wreck.
Which, I mean, as long as it's safe, I mean, that can be memorable too. I mean,
Sure.
and I don't think they're like, if it's like the worst match we've ever seen, like it's just awful. I don't think that Tony Khan is going to turn both of them into comedy characters as a result. Like,
Yeah.
it's going to be like, all right, well, that was a really horrible learning experience, but you probably learned more from that than if you just had like a standard basic okay match. Let's never repeat that, please. I assume is how that would go.
So
And
speaking
then-
of train wrecks,
Yeah.
what'd you think about Khali coming to the AEW?
You know, I don't think I said it on the show, but I was thinking a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
we haven't really seen like the big, tall monster dude come to AEW yet to see what
Yeah.
they do with it.
Yeah.
So he's here.
Yeah.
But
No, I mean, I didn't hate it like everyone else has been hating it.
yeah, people
I
act like people act like this dude has been showing up like for the last year doing exactly what he did there. And it's
Yeah.
like the first. Now, I think a lot of people just expect because they know how it works elsewhere
Yes.
what to expect. But yeah, I'm real curious as to how this is going to work because this is their first giant, basically. I'm pretty
Yep.
sure. Like they've had dudes who are like big dudes, but you could kind of say Shaq, but that was a totally different kind of situation. So this is the first really big dude that they're bringing in to be a wrestler. So let's
Yep.
see how they actually treat it. Like,
Well, QT Marshall sent out a tweet that said, "You got to give him time," and I'm thinking, "Oh God, what does that mean?"
well, I mean, I think
So-
I think that's more, dude. He had like one real short segment.
Yeah.
Let's give him like a week or two,
Yeah.
and then you can, you know,
Trash it.
Yeah, if
Yep.
it deems it. But I mean, if he's just like Jay Lethal's like monster bodyguard, but like I don't know, because like Omos on with AJ Styles, like that was fine.
Sure.
But you also knew that before he was ready, they were going to be having Omos in like matches and stuff.
Yeah.
AEW, I have more faith that he's not actually going to be in matches, but he's going to be helping Lethal win regularly. And they will probably wait until he's ready.
Yeah,
put him
which
in
I
a
have no
match.
problem with. Just make it look just make it. If you can at least be mobile, I don't like it just being a big guy and you're like walking around like Frankenstein,
Right.
Because
Yeah.
that's unbelievable to me. So
Yeah, we'll have to see on that. I'm not a fan of the head vice.
yeah,
I hate when big dudes or Crush for that matter, do the head
Yeah.
vice as a move. Now, if you want to start showing him with like watermelons,
Yeah.
just crazy stuff that he's crushing doing that to build it up a little bit for me,
Yeah.
maybe I can get behind it.
Now,
But I'm going to need someone bleeding from the nose occasionally or from the ears as a result of all the pressure to really
Now-
get me into it.
now it's funny that you say that because I agree with you from Wednesday when I saw this.
Yeah.
Now, whatever day I sent you that one text when I watched the Andre and Bam Bam Bigelow,
Yeah.
Andre did the exact same move with the head crush or whatever, and I actually believed it with Andre the Giant. So if he can make me believe that you're smashing the guy's head like Andre was
Yeah.
making me believe you smashing Bam Bam's, I have no problem with it.
Right. Yeah, I just do a little extra work. Just
Yeah.
maybe every week Jay Lethal is like cuts his normal promo and then he's like I forget the big guy's name and he's like crush this. And like the first week it's a cantaloupe and then the next week maybe it's a watermelon
Yeah.
and then like it just gets more preposterous the things he's trying to crush.
Yes.
Like he gives him like a bowling ball
Yes.
and he like obviously gimmick the bowling ball so it will break. But yeah, if you show me like
Or not. If you can do it in real life, that's even better.
yes, I would recommend wearing gloves. That's going to be some sharp edges. But yeah,
Yes.
like if it starts out like crushing a cantaloupe, it's like, well, that's pretty impressive. Crushing a watermelon, it's like, all right, that's pretty good. Then
Yeah.
you do the bowling ball,
Yeah.
and then whether it's real or not, you have everybody, including Mark Henry, be like, now that was a shoot bowling ball
Yeah.
that he crushed. And then it's like,
Yeah.
all right, I know you're not actually going to crush somebody's head, but I now believe
Yes.
that this is a legitimate thing to be worried about. Like that if you were to lose your mind in the middle of the ring, we could see a murder because of this move.
Sure.
That's all I want.
Yeah.
All right. Wardlow continues to terrorize MJF. More
Yep.
news at 11.
Yes.
All right. So you said you missed Rampage.
Yes.
Okay. So the things I will bring up from Rampage to you, it started out with the Blackpool Combat Club against the
Okay.
Gun Club.
Okay.
So Gun Club undefeated as a trio going into this. My assumption going into it, they were going to be defeated. Pretty likely.
Doesn't the Ring of Honor have a trios belt?
I believe they do.
I wonder if they'll introduce that eventually.
They better. Like, there's enough trios. I was on the fence, but I know some people still don't know about it, but
Yeah.
when you actually have trios that aren't breaking up every 3 months, you
Sure.
can go ahead and do it. That's fine.
Sure.
The only out I saw in this match for the Gun Club was they beat Yuta. Like, that's the only way they weren't going to lose this match. We got Regal on commentary, which is fantastic. Someone pointed out, I did not notice this, but Danielson comes out the heel tunnel, Moxley comes out the crowd, Yuta comes out the face tunnel, and Regal goes to commentary. So they have pretty much every base covered. So yeah, this was like, fortunately, they did make this a competitive match because, like, you know, they've presented the Gun Club as capable, so they didn't just get squashed. But yeah, like, Yuta's a little more violent. He's got the black and white and gray trunks now. He doesn't have like the crazy colors with this one. But yeah, more violent. You have throughout the match. So like Moxley and Danielson, when they're on the outside, they're like kind of coaching them up. And then when Yuta's on the outside with like Moxley, let's say, like it looks like he's really trying to tell him what Danielson's doing or how to, like, it's like they're actively coaching what he needs to be doing. So I thought that was a nice touch. The end actually saw Yuta get the pin on Billy Gunn. He does like the Connor roll with the bridge or whatever, and gets the pin, so it gets them the win. You know, he didn't outright just like kill Billy Gunn, like he kind of caught him in a pin, but
Yeah.
that's fair enough. Like, that is a pretty big win for Yuta to be the one who got the victory. I don't think Gun Club is going to be They're not your next NWO. So them
you
finally
mean,
losing is fine.
Who made that claim this week that they were the next NWO?
No. I'm saying beating the Gun Club. Like, I mean, they had like an undefeated streak.
Yeah.
But beating them, it's not like you're killing off the NWO before it starts. Like,
no, that's what I'm saying. Do you agree with that statement that the Blackpool, whatever they're called,
is the NWO?
It's the next version of NWO.
No, they're totally different. Now,
this one guy said on Twitter, he's like, "Well, which version of the NWO are we talking about?"
yeah, I absolutely think that this little group, like, I'm assuming they're going to get at least one more guy in there.
Yeah.
And then
It should be CM Punk.
I would be okay with that. Personally, I'm thinking, like, there's no way they're an NWO level group.
Yeah.
And I'm talking like original NWO with like 4 or 5 guys total. However, I could see this group being very popular.
Sure.
But they're not going to change the wrestling business, I don't think. Like, I can't see how it would go that way. But I can definitely see it being like a top act.
The only way you could get to that level, and like you said, I don't think they can, is if you put Punk in there. That'd be the only way you could somewhat maybe get to that level.
Yeah.
But even then, I don't think you can.
Yeah, or you can have Punk on his own, and then you have these guys, so you have 2 major like, it just seems better. But as it is right now, Mox and Danielson, you can throw into the main event, absolutely no problem. The crowd was super into Yuta, so, and they let him, like, they are 100% like, we are going to do whatever. If Yuta does not succeed in wrestling at this point,
Yeah.
it is probably his fault more than anyone else at this point in time, because he's definitely been afforded the opportunity right now.
Well, yeah, if you get him away from the stupid comedy act, I mean, sure.
Well, yeah, and he was like more serious. I mean, it was good stuff. Like, and again, I mean, they have put him in a situation to succeed. So I think he will. I listened to an interview with him for the Unrestricted podcast. I mean, he's definitely like a wrestling guy. So I think he will be good with this.
Sure.
You missed Butcher power bombing a dude.
Okay.
Always
Who's
good to
the
see
dude?
them. Barrett Brown.
So a jobber.
The most generic name on earth. But yeah, so because Butcher's going to be like the hired muscle to fight Wardlow. Dustin Rhodes challenged CM Punk to a match on Dynamite, which is weird, but that'll probably be good. Ruby Soho beats Robin Renegade and her twin.
When you say that's going to be good, as far as, I guess, Punk making Dustin look good before he beats him, I guess.
Yes.
Because there's no way Dustin's beating Punk.
No. Yeah, I'm saying like you'll be like, oh, this is a good match.
Sure.
Like,
I have never really liked Dustin.
I'm indifferent, but he's not bad. So like, of all the people I'm indifferent to, like, if there's a tier list of like, I don't really care about these wrestlers a ton, but they're fine. Like, he's definitely like upper tier.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense.
Goldust, Roddy Piper. I think that's when he peaked for me.
Yeah.
Or as that because that match was good, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and Piper's pretty enjoyable.
Piper.
So we get to Hangman and Adam Cole.
Sorry, I took away the Ruby Soho and Robin there, so it was a good match there.
Yeah, it was fine. Like, I half paid attention to it because I thought there was 0 chance that Ruby Soho lost.
Sure.
Like, even when they started doing the twin magic,
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way Ruby Soho's losing this.
Yeah.
So, like, they couldn't even get me to be like, oh, maybe they're going to do something weird here. Like,
Sure.
I wasn't buying it. It was like, this is Ruby's way into the actual round. So,
Sure.
when I know, like, there was no doubt. Like, I would have bet literally anything and been shocked if I was wrong. So, all right, we get our Texas Death Match, Hangman and Cole.
Yep.
So we talked a little bit about this before the show, but because people were saying like Hangman had some heel tendencies.
Yeah.
And I could see like I was telling you, like in a vacuum, yes, I could see that as heel tendencies because he comes out and like he's basically the one escalating it. Like he's the one bringing out the chair. Like he threw chairs into the ring in the beginning. He introduced barbed wire. He's trying to tie, like he did the thing where he tied Cole up to the ropes with his belt again. I was going to hit him with a barbed wire chair. He drew blood on Cole, and shockingly, Hangman did not bleed this match. Well, I take that back. He bled from the chin. I'll explain that. But yeah, so basically, like Hangman was definitely like the aggressor, and it felt like he was the one escalating things for the most part. There was a crazy spot where Hangman does like the outside moonsault, and Cole catches him with a super kick during the moonsault, basically. Okay. And then he actually, I'm assuming he bladed, but I don't know because he was busted open on the chin from the super kick. So his chin was bleeding instead of his whole face. Which was an interesting little change because I don't think I've ever seen that.
Which tells me that was actually probably real then.
I don't know, like
because why would that's a weird place to blade your chin.
Well, I mean, because he got like a outside the ring moonsault super kick. I mean, it would warrant it if you were trying to do something a little bit different, but but I don't know. Like I didn't like catch the replay part to see if he actually made contact, which would be impressive that he legitimately hit him where he was trying during a moonsault. Like it was pretty crazy, and not actually hurting him. Yes. Yeah. The other thing to note here is Cole came out basically in like jeans because it's kind of like a street fight situation. Hangman also came out in jeans, but his jeans had denim tassels, I believe. So, which was like. Well, I mean, that is on brand. So, but yeah, I was amused by that. I was like, I don't even know where you get that. I'm assuming that's custom made. Yeah. So yeah, there's like back and forth. Like it's basically like a lot of beating. Paige did take a fan's beer in this one, which he hasn't done in a long time. But it
has to be a plant. That has to be a plant.
Could very well be. But he hit Cole with it, and then he drank some of it. Now, some people are speculating that he's going to go back to having some beer because he's gearing up for Punk, and that gives Punk something to straight edge about, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
Which it could just be that he decided to do that, or.
Now, did they ever do that? I cannot. I mean, I don't know why McMahon would not do this. Did they ever like do that with beer with CM Punk, like someone dumping beer on him, or? Yeah,
they did a few different things.
Okay. But I can't see McMahon not doing that because that seems like a McMahon
I think it was him and Jericho because Jericho, it didn't go quite as they wanted. He had like a bottle of liquor, and he did different things like that with him and because like the Jericho Punk feud was crazy. Like they were actually gonna. They were going to have it where I think Jericho, I might get this a little bit wrong, but the main idea will be there. Jericho is going to like beat down Punk and then tattoo like his initials on him or something.
Okay.
And like obviously Punk was fine with that because he's got a ton of tattoos and like that'd be kind of a memorable tattoo.
Yeah.
And then someone told Vince that there was blood from tattoos and he just like shut down on the idea. But it's like the amount of blood from a tattoo is about the most minimal like amount, especially for like just doing initials. Like there's all like it's just
like
silly.
Jericho was actually going to.
He was going to take a tattoo gun and tattoo him, like his initials on him as part of their feud.
Yeah.
And like Punk was fine with it because again, if you have like sleeves and stuff, and it's like, well, that's a super memorable tattoo. This is the time that me and Jericho had a feud, and like because the feud was pretty good.
Well, I mean, if you have the Pepsi logo on you, I don't think you really matter about.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
too concerned with some things.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there, I absolutely would buy that was done purposely to give something for Punk to potentially go on. Like
Okay.
when it comes to AEW or Punk specifically, any little detail, I would not be surprised that they purposely put there,
Sure.
just as an like, and maybe they go where Paige is the heel and Punk stays good guy,
Yeah.
but they still set it up so that there's the option if they decide to change course or something. Like that combination, like they seem to be very, and especially Hangman as well. Like he's super detail oriented about some stuff. So, but yeah, so back and forth. There's like some. I mean, it's a street fight kind of deal. Paige wins with apparently some controversy because he put
the crown of thorns.
Yeah, so I can't tell if he was just trying to wrap it around his, because he was going to drop. He hits him with the dead eye to the outside on a table, so he's dropping him on his head. So I just thought that he was wrapping the barbed wire around his head. I didn't initially think of him doing a crown for it.
Yeah.
And then I think they said that on commentary because maybe that's what they thought he was trying to do.
Well,
But I guess some people are angry.
I saw the preview for that.
Yeah.
On Twitter, and I don't know. I think people are just getting over it. It wasn't like what Raven did in ECW.
Yeah,
So
it'd be one thing if he like strapped him crucified style to the ropes, put the crown on him, and then started like
yeah.
poking him in the ribs with a kendo stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the intent was. I have to assume because so I'm looking at the official AEW Rampage the summary basically, and it says that he wrapped it around his head like a crown. So I assume that was the intent then, but I don't, of things that I could find offensive, I didn't really care. Like, because I mean that could have been like the plan. It was like, oh yeah, we'll do that. I'll wrap it around your head, and then I'm going to dump you on your head as well.
Well, his character probably needs some kind of controversy to make me care about him. So maybe, maybe he needs that.
Yeah, but if you're that angry about that, there's so many other things. Like, if that one particular thing was enough to like turn you off of pro wrestling, like people are claiming, man, have I got something for you to Google search? Katie Vick. That's all. That's when Triple H participated in necrophilia disguised as Kane. So, granted, that was a long time ago, but yeah, there's way worse things to be offended about. Like,
no, I agree.
I just on the things that's like that I care about, man, not the complaint.
Sure. I just want my biggest problem is that he has the belt still.
Yeah, you're bored by him basically.
Yes. So do you think he disappears after this for a little bit?
Paige or Cole?
Paige.
No. I mean,
You don't think he disappears for a little bit?
After he fights Punk, or
Yeah, so after he drops the belt, that's what I meant. So after he drops the belt, do you think he needs to give his character so he can spend time with his baby or whatever he's doing?
I mean, I could see him
bring Miro back, please.
Well, yeah, I'm sure Miro will be back soon. I don't know. Like, my initial thought was you turn Punk heel against Paige, because that's probably one of the few people you can turn him heel against.
Sure.
Because again, you still have a world where the crowd will probably cooperate with you.
Sure.
And like, especially if Punk goes the straight edge route, everybody will know, oh, yeah, we can boo this. This is fine. Like, he'll do it in a way that, like, it'll be fun to boo him, basically. So everybody will play along. I mean, you could also, though, because like, I always like face Punk better. Like, I want to cheer him. But when he's a bad guy, I always found it hard to cheer. And a lot of, like, when he's really going to be like a bad guy, like, it's hard, like, it's like, no, he's definitely the bad guy. Like, there's no, like, oh, he's the cool bad guy. It's like, oh, he is the crappy bad guy. We're going to boo this guy.
I think the problem with turning him heel, you have so many bad guys in.
Yeah.
You have so many bad guys in AEW.
Yeah, I mean, he would overshadow a lot of them.
Yeah.
Like, he's good as a face, but he's actually, it's like Shawn Michaels, I think. Like, I think Shawn Michaels was a better bad guy than he was a good guy.
DX Shawn was probably the best.
Or like his brief heel run against Hogan, where he owned the country of Canada during that. Which that pops up online constantly. But if they do face versus face and like Punk doesn't turn during the match, I don't know what they would do, or I don't know how they would handle it. Like, because I mean, he's definitely a big part of the show. Crowd's super into him. Honestly, him losing and then having to like regain it, or deciding he's going to go after the TNT title or something, just to be like the first Grand Slam champion, basically.
Or there's so many belts in Ring of Honor, you can go for any of those, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that he could do, but I don't know. I'm just not sure. Like, I'm also not sure what Adam Cole does next.
Yeah, I mean, he's clearly waiting for Kenny Omega, but I mean, Kenny Omega's hurt, so I don't know. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like Kenny Omega isn't just hurt; he's like fell down Springfield. He fell down Springfield Gorge with Homer hurt.
Yeah, he's pretty banged up from everything I read. So
every time I hear the list of what's wrong with him, I'm starting to wonder if it's like a work or a joke of some kind, because it gets worse every time. Like, he also had a detached retina, and his spleen was upside down. What?
It's like I think somebody said on Twitter, is like, it almost sounds like it's like somebody trying to like redo a house. Like, okay, well, now I'm going to fix the bathroom. Okay, well, next week I'm going to fix the living room.
Well, I was working on the restroom, and I found out the entire plumbing of the whole house was bad. And then when I was rerunning the plumbing, I realized the electric was bad. And then everything was made out of asbestos. And then, like, it just keeps going.
Yeah.
So, it's like, knees, hips, hernia, vertigo, like, just everything. So, that dude. Yeah. I assume that's all true, but it is funny. I feel like I'll hear like one extra detail every time someone talks about it. And But so I mean, Cole can do kind of anything, but he's definitely like, I mean, maybe he's begins something against the Bucks, because now they're probably going to give him a hard time about him and Red Dragon both failing in the same week.
Sure.
So we'll see. And then we got Battle of the Belts is tonight.
Yep.
Jeez. There's just so much wrestling. It's almost too much wrestling. Like, honestly.
I think tonight will be... Depends how they do Dalton Castle, because Dalton Castle is a very unique character.
I believe he has the original boys.
Okay. So either it'd be really, really offensive to people, or people will really, really like it. I don't know which one it's going to be.
Yeah, we'll find out. I mean, I'm going to watch it, whether I watch it live or on a replay or something. But I'll still watch it, because it's not like the big matches, but it's still enough that I'm interested.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get to see Britt's new belt, so that'll be exciting.
Yes.
So, all right. Well, I say we wrap it up there.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
All right.
I'm tired of talking.
Yeah. Here we go.